been a dishwasher, farmhand, construction laborer, door-to-door salesman, postal worker, lawyer, politician, and now is a writer. He currently writes for a monthly column for Prime Life Circuit. Now, I think that says he just can't hold a job. He's a long-standing member of South County Toastmasters, having served 2 terms as president. He holds Toastmasters' highest award, the Distinguished Toastmaster. In his speech this evening, Carl flirts with the idea of who is superior, the male or the female. Well, at Carl's age, I guess all he can do is flirt. Well, what a waste of time. He could just ask Gina or Karen or I. We can tell him who's superior. Carl has a reputation in the club of being an imaginative speaker. Yes, he actually imagines we listen to him when he speaks. He's asking for 7 minutes, Mr. Timer, and he says that he's going to give us the answer. Please welcome Toastmaster Carl Hendrickson.
Well, at least you didn't forget my name, Madam Toastmaster. Fellow Toastmasters, since the beginning of time, the answers to 3 questions have plagued mankind. Which came first, the chicken or the egg? What is humor? And who is superior, the male or the female? Yes, that is still unanswered, contrary to what the Toastmaster may have implied this evening. But tonight, I, Carl Hendrickson, am going to provide the answer. The answer to what is humor. First of all, what is humor? Well, bait and switch. We started out, and I must say I worked with the Toastmasters in putting together that introduction. And my introductory remarks, and you started thinking that we're going to talk about the battle between the sexes. And then we come and talk about something else, humor, bait and switch. We started out by listing a number of jobs that I've had from high school up to the present time. I'm sure each of you have had a number of jobs from high school on, and there's nothing unusual about it. But yet, the Toastmaster says, Carl can't hold a job. That is something that is unusual to what is the usual. Those remarks were humorous. You all laughed at that. We went with the idea of flirting. Now, I was flirting with ideas. And of course, what Toastmaster said was, at my age, that's all I can flirt with. And it worked, because if you're going to use humor, you have to set the stage. Like Shakespeare says, the whole world is a stage and all of us are mere actors. Now we have a younger woman and an older man, and it works. Now if we had another man here as Toastmaster, that idea would not have worked as humor. Or if we had an older woman, it wouldn't have worked, because older women like flirting. And then we also humorously came up with a concept of being an imaginative speaker. Well, that sounds very positive. And then we give a negative connotation to it. And what did you all do? You laughed at me. It works that way. And that was all something we put together. We really did. Now, Barb, you don't really think I'm an ancient relic, do you?
No, Carl. Relic.
Now, there again, we use the idea of a pause there. It looks like she's positively going to say something kind to me. And who knows, maybe before my program's over this evening, she will. But then she goes into the negative, and we have something that is humorous. And this dialogue has worked very well. For those of you who can remember, there was Burns and Allen, you recall that, Abbott and Costello. They were all very good with this concept of dialogue. It works well. And it works well in Toastmasters. Many of you probably have heard that fine presentation about Dee's butt. Now, I don't mean Dee's butt. I mean, that would be too broad of a topic. Dee has this presentation about cigarette butts. Now, what was humorous about that? Well, first of all, you have to be careful. If you're not going to make fun of yourself, find somebody who you can make fun of that you will not hurt. Now, Dee has a very fine figure. She's very slender. She's probably going to thank me afterwards for pointing this out this evening. So when you use humor, be very careful. And humor works very good when you direct it at yourself. And if you're going to have this discussion, like a dialogue that Barb and I have, what do you need? You need two people. You need, like, you know, Abbott and Costello did. You need somebody who is the dummy and somebody who is the straight person. Now, many people feel very embarrassed about poking fun at themselves or at somebody else because they don't like either to make themselves the dummy or somebody else. But if it's done correctly, there's nothing wrong with it. I know you all make jokes about lawyers and politicians, but you don't really mean it. I know that. You do? Again, here's another idea I've used in dialogue. Mary and I did not speak. I looked at her, I responded as if she had said something or had sent me a message, and I used it. And what did we do? We got humor out of you. And humor should be personal. How many times you've had people stand up here and talk about a couple drunks going into a bar, when you could have said, you know, Carl and Michael, or Carl and Howard went into a bar. Make it personal that people can identify with somebody. That works. Now, I give this presentation this evening because in a few short weeks, we're going to have our humorous speech contest. And I know many of you people who have signed up wonder, what am I going to do? What can I say that can be humorous? Well, I hope my speech to inform is going to help each and every one of you do a good job. And since I am also entered in the contest, I hope you each come in second.